Alright, we're just going to do another little video here. Sometimes I get asked what's in my vape box. So, got one of these bad boys. This is fun to play with. This is the, I don't know if you can see that, Aspire. Dual bottom coil. It's alright. It works. It's fun to mess with. Yes, you can rebuild them if you have patience. They're a stiff draw. But they're a stiff draw because if they weren't, they wouldn't wick the juice right. And with all the heads that I've had, and I've rebuilt a couple of them, they are stiff draw no matter what. And I was afraid if I drilled out the center pin, why it's got a stiff draw, that it wouldn't wick anymore. So I just left it alone. Works. Put it on my MVP. It's a good mouthful hit device. Comes apart. A pro tank. Or not a pro tank, but a Vivi Nova. You really can't tell the difference between the two. I got different drip trips on them, except the Vivi Nova. It's top coil, and they're okay. They're okay. It's a lot of the whole tippy thing. If you've never had a Vivi Nova and you don't mind tipping to keep your wicks wet all the time, then go ahead and get a Vivi Nova. It's a little warmer vape because it's the coil's up at the top. Everybody has a video on everything right now. All you gotta do is search for it. Just did a video about the RSST tank and how, for some odd reason, it doesn't like my MVP, but it likes my spinner or my ego. And I don't know why. It's probably battery regulation. You know, these things are made from the mechs. What can you do? Not really made for my beautiful little MVP. Wish it was. Pretty much have to do a mouthful hit on the Aspire because tight draw. You know, got all sorts of stuff. Got version 1 Pro Tank. The only reason I would ever get a version 2 Pro Tank would be so I could change that drip tip, because you can't change this one. And if you've seen videos on that, then you know that too. It's not a whole lot that can be told about things that everybody already has videos for. You know, I got my iClear 30 tanks. I don't have any heads right now. Now they're okay. You know, they're not great. I'd rather have a Pro Tank. Pro Tank works better. Aspire works better. Same thing with, you know, these iClear 30s or the iClear 16s. I got 16s. They take the same heads. You know, they got the new iClear 30 BS, whatever it is, BS. Yeah, same with the Vivi Nova. Keep the wicks wet. You know, vape away. Oh, it's dry. Keep the wicks wet. Yeah. So it's mostly that's my vape gear really. I just, you know, Aspire. Use the Aspire all the time. Use the Pro Tank all the time. I want to use my RSST, but I want to use it on this, and they just bang heads. So, yeah, I do have Clearmizer tank, or you know, the old Cartomizers. They work. You know, there's nothing wrong with the Cartomizer tank. I still have them. I still have a fresh one in the pack. You know, they work. When I want something different, let's go back to this. Why not? You know, dual coil, twin hole in there. You know, they work. You know, I got all sorts of different heads and some Eco Wool Wick, and you know, I'll rebuild most of my heads. I'd almost rather buy the Aspire heads than build them, because they're a pain in the butt to build. It can be done. Same with the eye clears. The eye clears are really hard to do, but it can be done. It's just fishing that very small, tiny pinhole way down here at the bottom. You probably ain't gonna be able to see that, but it's way deep in there, especially on the 30 or on the 16. It's way deep in there. It's really hard to get to. But yeah, you know, you get pulling. Yeah, I showed you the bottom of the clear miser and not the head. I don't even know if I got a head. I think I threw the rest of them away. They've been rebuilt so many times, they were just falling apart. Got those a while back. Just haven't bothered to get new heads for them, because, you know, I'd rather use the Pro Tank or the Aspire. Said it in my other video. I get most of my juices Gourmet Vapor, you know. Blend my own stuff, tastes great. You know, only a couple from Vermilion River E-Juice. It's by where I work, so it's convenient to go in there if I'm totally out of something, my order hasn't come in yet or whatever. But yeah, just, you know, my standby Ego battery, my spinner, and my MVP. You take my MVP and my spinner everywhere. Lasts all day. Never have to worry about it. I like carrying 2 devices, because usually I have 2 different juices in there. I'm not a all-date vape the same stuff over and over and over again. I like, you know, one I'll probably have something sweet in, and one I'll have something maybe tobacco-y in or something. Yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you think. I got, you know, got a big old cartomizer tank. I just recently finished that one off. Still got a little bit of juice left in it, but there's nothing wrong with the cartomizer tank. You know, they work. They do what they're supposed to do. They're an okay vape. They work. This one's like empty. Still works. But yeah, no, the Aspire. Sometimes you get bad heads, though. That's the only thing with the Aspire. I kind of wish I would have gotten to try out the 4-hole head. I heard they had flooding issues with those. Well, that's what I like. Let's get some flooding going on in there, because this thing you'll have to dry it a few times, and hopefully some liquid will seep in there, because it's just so tight of a space. And I've actually taken some of this cotton out that's inside. You can see other videos of people that have taken this apart, and I've taken cotton out of mine. So you'd think that it would wick way too much. Well, it doesn't. But if I had, maybe I'd drill one of these out one of these days and put it back on. If I did that, I could drill out that center pin, and then I could suck on it like this. And get something like that out of this, because Aspire. I love the Aspire. I'm like, you know, my go-to guys are Mr. Phil Prasardo, Nick Grim Green, and Todd in his e-cig reviews. And, to quote the days of past, I learned it from watching you guys. I learned it from watching you. So, there's that. Todd, I've seen many of his videos, and he loves to say, I have a drawer full of these heads. I don't think you need a drawer full of the heads. You can take them apart and clean them and dry burn them, and they come right back. I didn't start doing that until a few months ago, and this is the same head in this one for the last at least month and a half. If it starts burning, getting junky, I'll just pop the cap off it. I won't take the whole thing apart and take the wicks out and everything. I'll just rinse it off with some hot water, dry it up with some paper towels, and pulse dry burn it and blow on it until the junk is gone. The wicks come back all nice and white. You put the little cotton thing back in there, pop the cap back on, stick it back in there, fill up your tank. Brand new. It's awesome. But yeah, like I said, you do every now and then get some junky heads that just will not feed at all. If you like tedious work, go ahead and rebuild one of these. I've done it a few times, and yeah, it's something fun. That's for sure. It's a lot easier to rebuild a pro tank. And now my pro tank, stated in another video, I rewrapped this with 4 wraps and a cotton wick a week and a half or so ago. Still using the same cotton in here. It's 32 gauge. It's beautiful to vape. Just tastes great. Even I built the RSST, and when I got it, I was like, I'm just gonna use cotton. It's works great on this. I'm gonna use cotton in this. I built a cotton one on here. I built 3 of them, and I've only had the device, week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. And it takes some getting used to. The first one I built in it wasn't good, wasn't wicking quite right. Try it again. It's really trial and error and trying to remember what you did that didn't work and go around that. Than anything else. It's but this one, I built a wick the same size I would out of like Eco Wool, just so it fit the slots in there, and it's been working great. It's bottom coil, it's always wet, big plus. Whereas this, it has to wick the juice up to get it, and I know Nick, he likes to just put a short one in there and do this. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like to do that. That's a big pain in the butt. I might as well go back to my Vivi Nova if I want to do that. I don't want to do that, Nick. Sorry, Nick. But, this thing I got wrapped with a 2 mil Eco Wool in there. Nice and thick. I think there's 4 or 5 wraps on that. I don't know my ohms. I'm not going to take my ohm meter out and check it, as far as doing that, I just kind of go with the way Nick likes to do things. He's, push the button, Oh, it's at this volt. You go start at the bottom. That's going up, I believe. But, you start at the bottom, 3.3, and you vape it. And Oh, that's nice. Well, let's go up. All right, we'll go up a little bit. Yeah. Push the button too early. My light wasn't off yet, so nothing happened. Try that again. It's all right. Lots of vape. It's good. Still tastes good. It's cotton. You don't want to burn the cotton. I'm only gonna go up to 4 or 5 on this. And you can taste just a little bit of the cotton. So you just back off. I like to go around 4.1, 4.2 on most of my stuff, but sometimes it dries it out a little faster with the cotton. So, you can always give a couple little puffs and a little bubble will come up there, let you know that, yeah, I got juice in me again. It's none of this. Well, I would never want to do that. I dislike my eye clears and my Vivi Novas just because of that. I shouldn't have to do that. So. And, that's the way it is. I'm saying you want something that works 98% of the time. There's nothing that's going to work 100% of the time. Even the tank style, cartomizers, sometimes they don't feed either. So you gotta, prime them up a little bit, suck juice in through the holes, and nothing works 100% of the time. They're gonna burn. They're gonna burn out. That's pretty much why a lot of people just rebuild everything. It's easier. Easier. It's cheaper, that's for sure, than going and buying a 5-pack of heads for $13, $15. You can buy a whole spool of wire for a couple bucks. 100 feet of wire for a couple bucks. Okay, 100 feet of wire. It's not a lot of wire that goes into that, right? One loop around. I usually make 2 coils with that. And one loop, 2 coils. And I'm still trimming away excess and throwing, bits away. But, I picked up some 28 gauge because I wanted to try 28 gauge. And yes, 28 gauge is thicker than 32 gauge. So in my mind, I should have to turn this up 28 gauge. But it doesn't seem that way. So I don't know what to say about that. Do a little video log here. People want to know. Everybody wants to know. What do you use? Where'd you get that? Well, I don't care to go to Vermilion River to get my juice, but they are very convenient and they have a lot of newer devices. I still have yet to see an Aspire tank in there. Still carrying the Vivi Nova. Can't believe so many people buy the Vivi Nova. Yeah, when it came out, Vivi Nova, talk of the town. Not so much anymore. Yes, they work. I'd like to do that. Okay. But my money, you can get the Pro Tank. You can get the knockoff of the Pro Tank. Uses the same heads. $20. My local smoke shop has them for $10. I've dropped this many times. Never on like concrete or anything. But yeah, it's not coming apart. got some good glue in there. That's how this one's made. It's all glued together. You can only take the bottom off. Not with the version 2, the version 3. I heard the version 3, for some reason, is getting better reviews now. I don't know if they changed something. I didn't look into it. But, yeah, version 3's alright looking. Doesn't look much different. Version 2. The only reason I'd get a version 2 is so I could change this tip out, Be nice to be able to put, any style or something on there. Something different. But, no, just normal vape gear, Get the blue bottles with the squeezy tops, Get all sorts of stuff, I like to say, Simply Vapor. I've tried a few of their juices. Mixed results. The flavor's not always on par with what you think it is. This is red tobacco. It was red tobacco. I got something else in here now. I don't even know what's in here right now. Let's see. What's in here? Lemon juice. That would be from Vermilion. Just a little backup supply of it in case I run low. And, I like to buy the 30 ml bottles from Gourmet Vapor. Pretty cheap. Like $11. Free shipping. Can't beat that. Buy a couple bottles. Buy a couple months. Go back on. Order some more later. Just don't do like me. Oh, hey, I'm almost out. I should order some. Well, now I'm out, and now I gotta go to the store. And then well, that sounds good. Some places don't let you try it, but, some places do. Vermilion lets you try their juices, but still, I've only found 2 that I can vape without having some weird after flavor of tastes like old stale milk. I don't know what that is, but that's how it is. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I just figured I'd do a little video here and show you what my regular gear is. That's what my regular gear is. A little backup Ego battery, but it's not really an Ego. Some off-brand. But bad thing about this one is after you push it, it stays going for a good second and a half. Yeah, it's actually on when it does that. My dog's trying to get in here. I don't know why. She's really buggy. But, yeah, that's what I got. Recommendations. ProTank. Aspire. Don't know. I haven't looked for a while. I got mine. I was thinking of getting a couple for other people. When I did, there was none around. They might be back in stock now. But, yeah, I wasn't bad. I mean, what did that cost? $12, $13 with shipping. $13. Alright, what the heck? Buy a pack of heads for $10, $13, whatever it was. It's a good deal. It's about the same with ProTank. They're $20. If I knock off for $10. Use the same head. And, yeah, heads. 5-pack, $15. Like I said, I rebuilt this one. It's lasted a couple weeks almost now. And, still going strong. Hey, if it makes me disappear, that's great, right? Nobody wants to see me. Anyhow. Well, that's what I got for you today. Y'all have fun. I know I will.